There's an old Zen story about a king whose people had grown soft and weak. So overnight, the king sets a large rock in the middle of the entryway into this particular city. Now, the next morning, when some of the people get up, some of them walk up to the rock, immediately go back to their homes. Others try to push on it, which they can't move it. Some try to get around it, but pretty quickly they give up and go away. Then there's a lone peasant. And this peasant finds some wood to create some leverage, creates a lever, and is able to lift this rock. Underneath the rock is a purse of gold coins with a note from the king that reads, "The obstacle in the path becomes the path." Never forget that within every obstacle is an opportunity to improve our condition. Well, here's what we have to understand. Pressure equals growth. We understand this biologically. If you want to get stronger, whether physically, mentally, or emotionally, then you have to experience stress, right? Your muscles have to be stretched. The same goes with our leadership. We have to have pressure if we want to grow. We need to be pushed outside of our comfort zones so that our leadership and our people skills can grow and develop. Now, I do want to give one caveat to this. The type of growth that we are looking for comes from constructive pressure or stress. Now, there is destructive stress. Those situations that are unhealthy, whether physically, emotionally, or mentally. There are relationships that are abusive and detrimental to our growth and development. We need to remove those from our life. We need to get rid of those. But it's the constructive pressure that we want so that we can grow. Life, one of the best opportunities it gives us for this growth is through what I like to call the leadership school of adversity. Because adversity, it exposes. It reveals our character or lack thereof. It's the difference between courage and cowardice, depending on how we respond in those pressure situations. But for most of us, we see being exposed as a negative thing, like we're trying to hide something, if you will. Trevor Moawad, in his book, It Takes What It Takes, he talks about how athletes, high achievers when it comes to business, right? People who are very successful, they welcome exposure. They embrace that pressure and adversity because they don't want to stay on the sidelines practicing. They want to get in the game and be exposed and see what they're made of and what their preparation has done for them. You see, if we want to reach our full potential as leaders, we have to embrace adversity. Here's why. Let's say you get exposed through adversity and you succeed. Your preparation paid off and you can build upon that. You have gained confidence. But what if the opposite happens? Let's say you get exposed and you fail. You realize you're not as good as you thought you were. That's all right. What a valuable learning lesson that you just gained. And now you can take that and you can prepare and you can get better for that situation. Look, every adverse situation is a purse of gold coins waiting on the other side. But to experience it, we have to be able to embrace that pressure and stress. So here's our game plan. How do we apply this? Simple. The best question that we can ask when we're experiencing adversity in order to embrace it, what can I learn from this? So I'll give you a few examples. Let's say you have a poor supervisor. Your manager is horrible. Look, you can't change your manager, so you can continue to complain about it, right? Or you can ask yourself, what can I learn from my manager? What can I learn what not to do? Because you experienced the consequences of poor management. And if you get the opportunity to be a manager one day, you now have learned what you shouldn't do because you felt the effects of that. I'll give you another scenario. Let's say that you're on a project and it fails. What can I learn from this? Why did this fail? Where did the failure happen? At what step in the process could we have been more excellent? What can I do next time to make this project better? You see, life is less about wins and losses, and it's more about learning. Embrace adversity. Welcome constructive pressure and stress. Let me leave you with our tweetable lesson. Adversity is really opportunity in disguise.